Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Monday to ya. We're back at it again, another week. And so far, quite a glorious Monday on my account. I hope the same for you. I feel a really fresh energy overtaking me, and I'm surrendered to it entirely. Oh man, so yes, March 11th. Yesterday was the 10th, and it was the new moon in Pisces, of course. And okay. And we're still in that frequency. So govern yourself accordingly, I suppose. Definitely tap into my moon message and reading, time stamped in the last post. And yeah, let's see what we got here today. Not somebody refusing to move on, refusing an opportunity, rejecting reality as it is. This is the energy somebody's in. Certainly not me. Certainly not me, but this is somebody who has either missed an opportunity or is stubborn in the sense of not really valuing, I guess, like the signs and synchronicities that it's time to move on or time to do something different or consider life in a new frequency, perhaps. That's the energy here. And guess what? I'm not taking it out. Nah, we're not gonna do it. Let's see what we got here. Exactly. I'm not even giving that much life, because this is the real right here. The Temperance card, which is the total opposite. Somebody that's willing to alchemize. It has the ability, capacity, and willingness to alchemize their emotional experiences into something that is matter, that is a matter of fact, and that does matter in a productive sense. And by surrendering to spiritual co-creativity to allow that process to be. And sometimes that first is the initiation of some uncomfortable assertions, or what's a hawk flying above, or uncomfortable, wow, he's like right here. Oh my gosh. It like just flew like almost directly into the window almost, and then went up. That's the closest it's ever gotten to be. Wow. I wonder if you could, I wasn't looking, but I wonder if you could see the shadow here. That's how close it was. Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, that was a sign and a synchronicity, okay? Like, if I ever saw one, whew, it gave me chills a bit. Yeah, like, I think that was a sign for me to move on from even the contrast of that previous energy, because this is not that. This is someone that is very present with their purpose, with their possibilities, their potential, that's allowing themselves to be in co-creation with spirit, in any void that may persist, and allowing those experiences of the past to be alchemized in a way that creates something favorable for the present and for the future. Like, this is a positive state of mind here. A an ascended spirit, I would say, as a matter of fact, with the Temperance card. And the Temperance certainly speaks to having patience, maybe even long suffering. So what I was about to kind of get into, which I'm not going to dig too deep, is that sometimes you come to the uncomfortable settlement of matters that have not been favorable, and either having to come to some acceptance. That's what it really is, the acceptance of unfavorable circumstances. But what do you do from that point? You know, that point where you don't like what you've experienced or what has happened, what transpired, who you've been, what you know, what's happened to you, what you've happened to, and, you know, so on and so forth. That Four of Cups is somebody that's like almost in, you know, kind of in a stubborn place of self-pity to some degree. Well, not really self-pity. Really, it's like, it feels a bit immature of an energy, like just, I don't know, like it's an immature energy, you know, of someone that just is, like I said, refusing to be in acceptance with self and with circumstances. So in that position of resistance, of acceptance, it's really hard to move forward or create any new vitality as you would with the Temperance energy, or to even let spirit, when that Ace of Cups is trying to pierce through the clouds to offer a fresh perspective, you're not available to receive it, even if it's something that could carry you away from that disfavor and into something more favorable, because you're too fixated on what has already happened or what you would rather it be in this moment. So this ain't that, you know, is the point of the matter. And, you know, or it could be an advancement from that to this, surely, you know, to be fair. But certainly the Temperance card is a much more ascended spiritual perspective in the sense that anything is possible. Someone that's open to advancing their reality in a very unlimited way. Stop. Yeah, victory is on the horizon. Let's move over and see what we got here so I can get more cards on the board. And that's definitely a champion's mindset, a victorious perspective, for sure. Whereas, like, no matter what has been, when you look at it from the point of potential creativity, you know, that everything has a place and a purpose, and really that you have the power to transmute it into anything that you want, good, bad, or indifferent. That's true power and authority right there. That allows you to live above the fray of limitations or corruption and chaos, confusion, competition, even within self, as it is with the Six of Wands. Let's see what else we got. Choices. Hella choices. I think I'm gonna get one more up top. Let's see what's on the other side. Seven of Cups. Oopsie. Ooh, two. Ooh, Empress. Haven't seen the Empress in a while. Hella Cups. Yeah, oh, okay. So perhaps this was someone that really did heal from that stubborn, or matured from that Four of Cups energy that I just refuse to entertain. You're like, we're not doing that. Not out the gate, you know, like not on the table, not out the gate. Like that's just not what it is. But someone refuse, perhaps has matured in a sense, as I said, to find the potential and the alchemy of their experiences, to see how, in this case, with the Seven of Cups, just how many choices that there are, but not just the matter of choice of the multiplicity of choices, but it was more so the sharpening of discernment to make the right one. That's the maturity here. That's what I'm picking up. And a particularly different vibe than what the Seven of Cups can sometimes give, because, we know that the Seven of Cups generally is like, it can be some of the worst choices outweighing some okay or just mildly favorable ones. And I think even that is significant, as I'm saying, because it was a matter of sharpening someone's discernment so that beyond the point of, as I see this card lately, kind of like unlimiting your options and seeing that you even have more than what's beyond that veil to choose from. Also, have sharpening and maturing your discernment to know when, even if that is even if this is the menu, that maybe you just don't need to eat here, so to speak. Like, well, if this is all it is, then maybe I'm on a fast, or maybe I'll just be thirsty. I don't know, and I'm definitely in a sense of love vibes. Let's really get into that for sure. So that Four of Cups could be someone that has some, okay, so that makes a bit more sense now, that has had some really had some misses in love, and maybe was in a stubborn position as resistant to being open-hearted to that exchange again on account of what they experienced. And so that did keep someone stuck and stagnant in one place, like, nah, I just refuse. They don't want to, they don't want to be open to love. They don't want to entertain any intimacy. They want to stay in a guarded position, and they don't care what they miss, because for a person in that energy, particularly regarding love, it seems more of a risk to open yourself up to the possibility of being hurt or disappointed again than it does to perhaps miss an opportunity of what could be a good something good, because you never quite know, in that Four of Cups, if it really truly is, even though it appears to be coming from the clouds or from an ethereal place, someone that's been burned a certain type of way, or that's just not had much luck in love, would be hesitant or just resistant and stubborn altogether, just outright closed. So this is the maturation, as I said, of somebody that realized that everything happens for a reason, and that and maybe allow spirit to work with them to come to that acceptance and understanding of their past experiences, and how they add value to who the man or woman that they get to be in real time. Even with that, taking accountability for their own choices and actions, their co-creativity in those disfavorable experiences, to come to the point where it sharpens you. Sometimes our most unfavorable experiences are our best teachers, right? It tells us what we don't want to recreate if we're listening and we're wise enough to, to heed the lesson. And then when you're offered, this could be somebody that's offered, options that may be familiar in all the wrong ways, or just, this is someone coming to almost like, I've said this before about the Seven of Cups, like a multiple choice test, where it's like you got plenty of options, but maybe the correct answer is D or E, none of the above, you know? And it's like, what's behind the curtain, or, you know, just none of these are it. And the test was somebody's perspective of limitations by way of their own worthiness and their own personal value and self-esteem, for sure. In this case, having overcome great feats at this point and having all of the facility and evidence to know what they truly are worthy of, and this being the test, as Spirit likes to do. Like, now you know what you left behind. Let's see, do you really get it now? Did you really absorb the material from, you know, the lesson? Have you matriculated, you know, properly, to know when you see something good in front of you, i.e. here with the Empress, and when you just don't, when perhaps none of these options are okay, or at least they're not up to the standard of what you truly desire to have for yourself. So I'm seeing this Knight of Cups offering to this Empress in a stranger way than I usually do, in a very sincere fashion, particularly because it's the Empress here, and given all of the energy that's leading up to it, this disparity in suit speaks to me that this is just how much a person may revere whomever they're offering to, you know, which is why all this work needed to be done in the first place. They may or may not actually be a knight or in that position, but they value someone with such high regard, that they see them as like the total package. You know, they see the Empress as the mother of their children, their potential wife, their partner, you know, someone that is of great, perhaps, influence or maybe inspiration even to them, you know, to some degree, to make them want to kind of slow down and revisit this ideal of love and intimacy. And the challenge being having overcome all of the fear and resistance around it. And then the next hurdle would be the courage to offer to someone that they have a great deal of respect for. Is one thing to be able to stay in this Seven of Cups. Yeah, that's what this energy is giving me. Like, it's one thing to kind of stay in your lane to some degree, not in a derogatory way, but for somebody to kind of stick with what they're used to. That's the aspect of the limitation with the Seven of Cups. You know what you're getting in those cups. It's like, yeah, I know you a snake. I know you all about yourself. I know you just like to smoke and drink and party and bullshit. You know, I know you might be peaceful, but you're probably boring. I know you're definitely a dragon, and you'll probably, burn me in the end, maybe physically. I know you might be a gold digger. I know that this kind of looks like it might be like a strong foundation, but really it's a sandcastle. It's not built to last. It's like seeing all the options, and really this is like the moment of truth here as to whether or not I can go with what I know because I know what I can trust, or go for something that may even be beyond my beyond my control of expectation. Like, so the point of control here with an Empress is not quite so absolute as it is with energies that are vibing in a certain frequency. You know how to respond and react in, let's say, at worst, toxic exchanges, at best, just familiar exchanges. It doesn't even really call for you to measure up or level up, so to speak. Yeah, okay, that's the thing. So somebody then had to be willing to see themselves, obviously as they already are, but then having to put themselves to the test of that level up to match up to this energy of the Empress here. Like, I mean, just like I said, I haven't seen the Empress in a while. And you're not just approaching the Empress like you approach any old chick in the streets. Like there's a certain level of respect and intention that you have to approach with to be taken seriously, number one, and for it to manifest into anything that matters, emotionally speaking, for sure. So yeah, this is interesting. So obviously this is someone that gained the courage, that found the self-esteem, or that was the process here, the maturing, the self-awareness and assertion to be able to make this gesture of love, this offer of love. Let's see what else happens here. Okay. I like this. Okay. All right, somebody's been watching from a distance. This is either outside optics, or this is someone that was waiting and watching for a perfect time or a specific timing to occur to make this move. Let's see what we got here. Well, you know what? Let me see what's being watched. Because I could say it's the Empress, but I want to see if there's something else here. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, they were waiting on the right time. Watching this estate, maybe watching to see if the object of their affections was dating anybody or seeing anyone, or it could be the other side too. Like I said, it could be somebody watching to see when this union, or I don't even know. It could be that. Let's see what's on the other side. That'll definitely tell me. Falling on the floor a lot. I know I'm shuffling kind of wild, but all this stuff falling on the floor. All right. Okay. So this is somebody. Yeah, but it's like it's giving somebody that's watching with the intentions to interject and to interject and to interfere. That's what is given with this, because this is very immature energy with the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands. This is somebody that's watching from a distance, keeping tabs on perhaps this unfolding or unveiling of what looks like a very fairy tale type of situation, or that at least has a high potential with the Four of Wands here. So it's somebody that has an invested interest to watch to see what happens, and that has an intention to then interject or intercede with some message or offer of their own with the Page of Wands. But it's so minimal, it's minuscule, as a matter of fact, that it really doesn't hold a great value. Particularly up under here with the Seven of Cups, it's probably not it's yeah, it's of a lower value, or it could be even from a familiar essence, like say an ex, or somebody in the Four of Cups that missed an opportunity. That energy makes sense, a whole hell of a lot of sense, that they missed an opportunity to be in this position of possibility here for their resistance of intimacy or love or whatever, healing, perhaps, whatever the case may be. And now they're on the outside looking in of what could have been them, but they don't have anything to offer to even like throw their hat into the ring, because they were too resistant to intimacy and the expression of it, the advancement of it, to have even matured their offer at this point, for it to be something viable. This is like a small passion, you know, a small perspective, maybe even small-minded, you know, or somebody that has ulterior motive, that's more of a selfish motivation here with the Page of Wands. It's not tempered. It's not tempered. Could be superficial, could be pride, you know, on a small scale. Yeah. Somebody just enamored by the surface level of these optics, that would just want to have this partnership, or, you know, maybe that would just want to be with an empress, you know, for the upgrade alone, you know, and for the appearance sake of it all. But that wouldn't really, this is even more demoted of an energy than the Knight of Cups at this point. But that wouldn't have much of value to really, it wouldn't be a balanced reciprocation. Oh, jeez, that's way too much. That was the Six of Pentacles on the top, though, that equal give and take that I'm talking about. That would be the standard, and somebody's not willing to match that standard. They may not even be able to, even if they're willing to now. They're not able. Tower card. It would be a complete disaster to take an offer in that vein, or somebody wants to just destroy. Wow. So that's even deeper. Which is what I said, an ulterior motive. They just want to burn the whole situation down, burn the house down. That's what they want to do. They don't want this happy home. They want to burn this happy home to the ground. Break up a happy home. Okay. Damn, before it even get to be? Because they ain't even, you know, like, he just made the offer. This is somebody that wants to break up the happy home before it even gets a chance to materialize. Here, the Page of Wands is the match. That's some real hateful stuff, ain't it? Just because it's like, it's definitely given, if I can't have you, nobody can type of energy. But alas, the fate is so that just will not be. This is a destiny fated encounter, arrangement, experience, partnership, literally destiny and universal destiny, and also celestial destiny by way of these spirits that are aligning. It's like it's their own personal destiny to come on one accord, and it's it's universal destiny, like it's been written. Ain't nothing really messing with that. So what's going to happen is this energy is going to end up backfiring. The tower that one creates for another is the one that they apparently will be thrown out of if they make it out alive, is also the thing. Yeah. Yep. So it's like they don't even realize this, and that's the immaturity of this energy, that the fire that they are setting is the one that they're entrapping themselves in, and it's karmic. And it's given a wildfire at that, because it's like the intended target, not only is it going to blow back, but it's not going to be in the same with Jupiter energy here with the Wheel of Fortune. It's going to be magnified, so it'll be like uncontrollable backlash and backfire, because the universe is protecting this frequency, whatever it is. You know, it's already protected, it's already written, it's already spoken for. This energy here is already spoken for. So anything that would look to obstruct that is like a direct attack against the universe itself, because this is the order. So imagine you coming up against, thinking you coming up against just two people, and it offends the whole heavens. And you got a whole legion of angels, maybe demons too. Hell, I don't even know, but certainly a legion of angels on a counterattack. That blowback is just, it's not going to be able to be, it may not be sustainable, but it certainly won't be containable. It'll be like a miracle itself for someone to escape the trap that they are creating for someone else. Let's see what else we got. Oh shoot. And that's that on that. Exactly. That's the blowback. Extreme disappointment, guilt, shame, and it's like it's going to be so, it would be so layered, multi-layered, because it's not just the point of failure that would cause this energy. It also would be the exposure of the intention and motivation that would cause this energy. And then it would be whatever it is that is now absorbed, or whatever the repercussions would be on account of inflicting this energy. So it's like a trifold, which is 3 cups spilled here with the 5 of cups. It'll be like a trifold blowback here. Pretty much somebody is just going to wish they never did. Whatever it is that they had intended, they're going to wish that they hadn't. It won't even be worth it. Or it's not worth it. Maybe this has already happened. Yep. already in that energy where they wish they never did, because the backlash is what is causing this anxiety here, like not knowing when it's going to come. It's like the failure has already happened. You know, the plan has diminished, or the intentions were cut short, or have already bounced back, whatever the case may be. Whatever it is, somebody is anxious about the progression of what they tried to stop. And in this case, of course, I started speaking about this in a very intimate and specific way, like general, well, kind of general. What's the word that I usually use when I mean this? Well, intimate to some degree, but what I'm trying to get to is that this could be general. It could actually pertain to what resonates to you personal. That's what I mean, personal. But this could also be universal, like the powers that be that have been, you know, trying with all of their might to resist this evolution of healing and ascension, trying to keep people from alchemizing their unfavorable experiences into this place, to matriculating into their mastery. Ooh, I like that. That's what this has been about, resisting the matriculation of mastery by celestial beings. And it's been a great, you know, effort put forth to see to it that it doesn't get to be. I was, you know, they say like when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? And I posted a video on the community tab yesterday of Dr. Dilbert Blair, which clearly he's been around for, I guess, decades now, but for whatever reason, I just was introduced to him, hence the phrase, when a student is ready. And I'm just astonished by the things that his teachings and his philosophies, because they're so unaligned. First of all, they were so prophetic, and I was like, damn, he must have felt so alone back then to have this foresight and for it, you know, for there to be I'm sure, very little understanding and acceptance for the things that he was saying, compared to there's much more widespread acceptance of that ideology now than ever before. But then he was just so spot on, and it's so relevant to how I feel now, when certain things have been downloaded and impressed upon me spiritually. That's how I always know that I'm in the right vein with a particular teacher, is because there's certain seeds that were already planted within me, and I come in contact with someone that just kind of like blossoms those seeds in an accelerated way, like, wow, that's what I was thinking. Oh, that's what I heard. That's what but they take it to another level, or at least just solidify, give me evidence to affirm what's been planted already. That same thing happened. Shout out to Pastor Mike Walrun at First Corinthian Baptist Church in Harlem. I always shout out that place because that was another point of advancement in my religious and spiritual understanding of myself and of God and everything in between, if there is anything in between, where the word reimagine first took root in my spirit and my vocabulary, let alone in my spirit, to see myself differently in God. And the same thing happened. I was in a place of self-discovery and really growing in a certain way, meditating every day, reading a hell of a lot, having my own supernatural experiences all over New York that were leading me on a certain path. And I visited that church on a recommendation from somebody one time, random, casual recommendation. I visited one Sunday and I joined that same Sunday and stayed for quite a while. Ended up on the choir, praise and worship team, all that. I only really left when I left New York, But same thing, it's like when it's time to advance, there's always a place that is like, it's like it was always there waiting for you with open arms. So anyway, I'm saying that to say that Dr. Blair, for for what it's worth, has been solidifying a lot of what has been speaking to me lately, and where I feel like, my understanding is being broadened to understand, or I should say my understanding's broadened to understand, or whichever way makes sense. And a lot of what he's saying, especially on account of, the evolution of creation, is like, it's a now word. It's happening now. And when you trace back, for me anyway, when I trace back the roots of when he was saying certain things, what I picked up is that, and at least in the things that I've been watching, he was saying things at very specific points of time that would have been pivotal change in creation, that to me present the evidence that at every point when it probably was time for things to progress a certain way is when obstinate energies would rear up again to cycle us right back into a karmic experience that would keep creation from moving forward the way that it was designed to do so. Hence why we're in this almost like accelerated catch-up now in 2024, just sheerly off of what's been held back and resisted for decades now. Well, lifetimes for sure, if I can see that much evidence in the short span of time, certainly lifetimes for sure. But now is the moment that it finally gets to be that this is the energy here. Like, yes, all to it in the intimate and very personal way, perhaps generally speaking, but universally, this is what the obstinate energies are. This is what keeps them up at night. The fact that there is not much that can be done anymore against the universal order that's not going to backfire on them directly, or that already hasn't, or that won't even more so if they persist, So this is where we are now. This is the reality of, I don't even know, righteousness, I don't know, in human form that's coming to light. And he speaks a lot about like the children of the sun and children of the star children, which is probably where star seeds comes from and stuff like that. And it's like, this is what's been inhibited and resisted for so long, from generation to generation, like keeping people from knowing not only their origins, but their true identity, from maturing into this place, advancing, evolving, not just maturing, evolving into this this position of power, and not just, this could be the emperor, right? But it's the empress instead, because it's about the reproduction of this reality, this true identity of supreme source, expressed in the earth realm, as it was always designed to be, as we are the natural inhabitants of the earth, but even that was stripped away, and so on and so forth. You know what it is if you know, but this is the energy now. That the opposition is so racked with the blowback of what the mess that they've created. They're so entangled in that it's almost hard to really put forth a strong effort to do anything impactful, really, at this point, especially with all they're up against. Time itself is what they're up against. And this is the anxiety, because it's like, if you can't do what you always did to assure a particular outcome, or uninsure a destined outcome, then you have to know that something unfavorable is getting ready to take place for you, whether it be the change itself being out of your control, or all of that energy that was projected now coming back to the source where it belongs. People are afraid to lose control, but they've already lost control. They just, in that Four of Cups energy, refuse to accept the reality. All right, let's give it another go. Just a few more, Spirit, will you? Whoa. What's that? Here's the mysticism, where all the mayhem came from. Also the unknown, and not knowing what to expect. Again, like not knowing, yeah, that was almost the Three of Swords. Not knowing what that blowback is going to look like or feel like, particularly with the, because I feel like what also is happening is that senses are coming online in ways that they never have before, whereas people were emotionless or found some way to avert their sensation of empathy or sympathy to carry out these motivations. It's like now, this is the Five of Cups energy, like everything is sensitive now. Like they feel everything, the fear, the guilt, the doubt, the shame, the worthlessness, the failure, like I said, like almost trifold, but more so even than that, particularly with Jupiter here with the Wheel of Fortune and that karmic backlash, but certainly at least trifold with the Three of Cups spilled here. But it is like the card says, crying over spilled milk, because it's energy that was willfully projected over and over again, incessantly, without cease. And it's like that, and that vibration was passed down to generation, that this is how we do it. This is how we do it. Causing towers in each freaking lifetime, passing that mentality down to the next and to the next and to the next, or just regenerating over and over again, however that gets to be metaphysically. That's what was happening. Now it's like all of that energy is now being felt, sensationalized. You can't just do what you do without feeling it. Now it's like somebody's actually human now to really feel what they've been sending out, what they've been projecting, and also what's just due to them on account of those intentions and motivations. Like that's the presence of the moon here, like something deep, very sensational, also intuitive. So it's not just the emotional aspect of it, it's like everything about it to how can I say it, like the senses are amplified, because the moon can be like natural emotions like Cancer, but it can also be very intuitive and almost psychic as well. So it could be like psychic attacks. So that's even beyond just the human sensation on a ground level, just feeling guilty or feeling ashamed. It's like something more aggressive than that. That's wow. Ooh, I just felt something too, but I'm gonna hold on to that because it feels, should I? Yeah, because I feel like if I go down that rabbit hole, I don't know if I'll make it out. I don't know if I'm gonna make it out. in this reading. Ooh. It's like frequencies that are being sent. And even with this card, I'm going to show you. Like, if you see that, you see this like void behind it. Now, that's just that is the design of the card, but of which every card doesn't have that circle position in the same place. It's very strategic how they did that in the design of the cards. But that's what I mean. It's like a surround sound of frequencies that, oh man, how do I explain it? It's like a dog whistle. Like only they can hear it, but it's very piercing. And disturbing. That's what it's like, Disturbia. That's what it is. In real time though, but it's such a mind fuck. That's what it is. Such a mind fuck because it's sensitive to the human, whomever is experiencing it is who's sensitive to it, but it's almost like you can't even share what you're feeling because you don't even know how to put your finger on it. You don't know how to, let alone to put words to communicate it or describe it. And I feel like it's something about, look at the synergy between the Wheel of Fortune, that circle impression that I'm highlighting, and then the Moon card, which is a satellite of sorts, and how the circle is around it. There's some frequencies being sent. As the wind's picking up, I would say extraterrestrially, but I don't think it's from outer. I think it's from inner. I just don't know what the source may be, but it's like a shrill, that's why I said I'm probably not gonna make it out because I see it. And that's what's really causing the backlash that's amplified, literally amplified, more than it just being bad fortune. Like, oh, I lost my house, I lost my car, my wife left me, my money's gone, that natural human stuff. It's even more than that. You see how he's like holding his head here? It's some type of like psychic imprisonment. It's almost like a hell on earth experience. That's what is reverberating. So that people are like contained in this cell of psychic attacks. But like I said, they don't know how to express it. They're only acting out of it because, it incites a natural reaction, even though it seems very unnatural or at least supernatural to some extent. You can't really... It's like having the migraine of all migraines, but you can't get rid of it with medicine, and you don't know why it keeps occurring. You could be going to the doctors and they don't know what's wrong with you. They're telling you everything is fine. Like there's no respite. There's no respite with this Nine of Swords. That's either what these energies are experiencing or what the backlash truly looks like, which in that case people would have hoped that they just lost their house, lost their car, lost their wife, lost their job. Because this is incurable, it's incessant, and there's no particular, there's no pathology to explain where it comes from. That would make sense, particularly if you told anybody else, you just be people be looking at you like you're a lunatic. Yeah. Wow, people are being made, are becoming lunatics. But that's the backlash too, because a lot of the energy that was projected was magnified and mysticized off of moon cycles. So that makes sense that would be the karmic backlash. Wow. And it's like you would want to be dead experiencing that, but they won't it, yes. You won't even be able to be. Not until Spirit says so. Not until you've literally been excused from this existence. I just heard if ever. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. And I don't even have room on the table for these two. King of Swords. We'll put them here like so. Or maybe I can make some room. King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Energy is trying to break up real life unions, because we know that the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords are more or less a couple on the outs. Like they're not quite seeing eye to eye. Maybe even divorced. And in this, and how they came up, you know, based on how they came out, this is like literally two people that have their backs toward one another at that. So not only may they actually be divorced, she don't even want to stay on the table. Oh man, come on. Can I get some symmetry here? Nope, she ain't staying. She ain't staying. So it's like, not only are they not on the same page mentally, psychologically, intellectually, they may actually be divorced, estranged. These probably gonna be all crooked, y'all, so please, just, if it matters to you, my apologies. And trust me, it always matters more to me than it could ever mean to anybody else. Can I get her on there now? Okay. That's the best we might be able to do. All right, so yeah, and it's like now they have themselves to contend with. And I mean, this is clearly a stark difference between the Lovers and the King and Queen of Swords. They're damn near enemies in some ways. Especially given her back is to him and he's facing this way. Like they're not aligned in any way, shape, or form. That also could be the expression of, that could be the karmic response for people to kind of be stuck in the situationships that they created for themselves. Back to that Four of Cups energy, where somebody missed an opportunity for what was in the Ace of Cups, true love, pure love, and went for something a bit more, I don't know, I guess, at least what they thought had a higher fortune. I could go in on that, but I'm not, because I don't care. So the point is that this is like almost an isolation into their own little corner of the universe that they get to either continue to, you know, like that's almost a choice in itself as to how, and that, you know what, that's what it's given. Thank you, Spirit. That people are really just left to their own devices of the power of choice at this point, whether or not they will procure that or they continue to deny it. Back to that Four of Cups, to resist it. And, you know, this is the matter of discernment that I was talking about, like knowing when something is good for you and when it's not. This is given to people that are still sticking together or are still at least attached in some way because they refuse to see options otherwise. You know, it could be for appearances, you know, it could be, as I said before, here, yep, with the Page of Swords, yeah, certainly. Could be for appearances or for whatever they've made it make sense for, but it's intellectual and it's cerebral, it's not spiritual or emotional. And that's not the forwarding life force right now, because that's not the pure essence, particularly of love and intimacy itself. And so we're talking about partnerships. That's definitely not the way to go. But I think in a more broad perspective, it's highlighting the reality of people still having the power of choice in their hands to counteract what they've set into motion, or at least to put in some type of what's the right word, like to put something in place to keep it from reoccurring again and again, if there's still luxury and liberty for such a thing, which I feel like it could be with the King and Queen of Swords here. It's just a matter of people asserting themselves to take it. And remember, I said with the Four of Cups, sometimes that means coming to an uncomfortable acceptance of your reality. And that's the hardest part in getting over that hump of being resistant and stubborn to how to move forward, is that sometimes people don't want to accept the reality of their circumstances and what they get to do to alchemize it to move forward in some more victorious way. Instead, they keep insisting that it gets to be a certain way for a certain outcome, that at this point in time, that opportunity has passed on, because the world is evolving beyond that medium of expression. Like, you can't keep doing the same old things. Basically, people are being forced to answer to what they've created in real time, the reality that they've created for themselves by way of what they've projected onto others, and also being forced with the choice to heal, even on account of that. It's like you still aren't absolved from the invitation to heal. It's even more so, it's even more expressive at this point, more pronounced, I should say, at this point, so that you don't stay stagnant. Like I said, stay in this lower vibration of like a hell on earth. And even though the stakes are higher as to how you get to this point of pure healing and to your ultimate destiny, hopefully, ideally, it still is the open invitation that is left up to you to RSVP to, So it's tough because, like I said, that Four of Cups, sometimes it's like you picking the lesser of evils. Like, some people don't want to have to answer for the mess that they've created, i.e. the powers that were, which is why they keep trying to project some new way to resist the inevitable, whether it be their own backlash or the evolution itself. Yet, what they're also doing is prolonging that despair that they're going to have to experience anyway, because it's just due to them, and also making it harder for them to move beyond it, like I said, to something that is more favorable, more fair, and more destined for their personal paths, whatever that gets to be. Again, intimately, generally, personally speaking, also universally so. But no matter, it's still a personal choice. It's still an individual choice. You can stay there if you like, or you can get over that hump of disappointment and reluctance and all that resistance and all the things that you pretty much just refusing to accept the inevitable, or you can move past that. Take this karma, whatever it may be, walk into your destiny that you have helped to co-create at this point, and eventually find yourself, if you're brave enough and strong enough, to find yourself on the other side of healing, true destiny, individual destiny. I honestly do feel like, at least for some, or wouldn't be here in this way, that invitation is still wide open. It's just like you just may have a few extra hurdles than you would have before to make it to the party. You know, that's it. Yeah, magician. You have it within your power, your facility and resources to really manifest whatever outcome you want to have for yourself. The process is still the process. It may or may not happen overnight, as it doesn't happen overnight for any side of the spectrum. Everybody's had to go through something to get to this matriculation of mastery, you know, which is also expressive here. Everybody's had to go through the process, through the material, the life lessons, the experiences, the trials, the tribulations, the tests. Everybody had to go through it. Some people tried to take the shortcut away around and ordain themselves into a position of mastery that they hadn't earned, or at least hadn't done so honorably. And some took the long way, the scenic route, and found their and through that experience of temperance, found their way to that victory and to that affluence. It doesn't mean that it's not available for one that took the other route, the former route. It just means that you still get to go through that same vetting process if you're willing and able to do so to get the same result. You know, that's the most life I can give it, quite honestly. But these are also the expression of the people that have played magician in the realm, to, you know, like I said, that took those shortcuts to continue to tip the scales in their favor, more or less. You know, I'm speaking, it could be personally, but I'm speaking generally and universally. The warlocks and time lords of creation that have, again, worked to keep us moving backwards or on this, like, you know, this replay of sorts of reality over and over and over again. And it's worked in their favor until it hasn't, until it does no more. And now it's time for that will to move forward in the way that it was designed to do so. And for the true magicians, the true masters of the universe, to take their rightful position, ones of which have been earned, you know, so certainly even with inheriting a certain birthright or being born into a certain bloodline where, you know, this is just the traits of that lineage or dynasty. You still had to earn your place within that continuum to prove yourself worthy after you having been vetted to be trustworthy with such powerful energy to carry it on, to carry the legacy on. Nobody got anything or is getting anything. Oh, look at that, Queen of Pentacles. Exactly. And nobody's getting anything, like I was about to say, just because. It's all fair, it's all justified, it's in order, spiritual and natural, and it's on account of what was invested, cause and effect here. Like, you had to have proven self and invested in self, bet on self, you know, and of course submitted to the supreme in whatever way that gets to be, the spirit of the matter of self, to get this ultimate judgment and to be justified as one that gets to be counted amongst the masters. Everybody had the same opportunities, nothing unfair here. And perhaps they still do. That part I can't holistically say, but in my optimism, I would like to believe that that's true. So, interesting message for Monday. I said that I was feeling some really, really powerful energy, and I feel like this was a pretty decent expression of it. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, then it's for you. And if not, then I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like, I don't know. Queen of Swords is trying to jump off this table, boy. It might be the feminine energy that has the hardest time really accepting the fate of the universe right now. I don't know, because she just keeps trying to jump off. But, you know, it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. All right? So anyway, thank you for listening and watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.